Okay. Welcome back. I was waiting for Scatterlings of Africa. Understand that Johnny Clegg is already been buried. We've been paying tribute to him here at the station. And well done there to Kathy Mtlatlana there, bringing Tandeka, PJ Powers, one of my favorite also artists there, to pay tribute to Johnny Clegg. But of course, state capture, of course, is continuing to dominate the headlines. You know, I want the medicine that Andile Mtitama takes. I want that medicine. Where you you are just blinded to reality. According to Andile, he was here a little earlier on, and I really liked what the other analyst, Mr. Dube, said, you know, that we are dealing here with scavengers and scoundrels. And the State Capture Commission is not there for show, for PR, you know, for ceremony and pomp. No, it's there to come to get down to the truth, man. And if getting down to that truth means cross-examination, so be it. Because also, you know, for those who studied law, cross-examinations was birthed by lies. If there were no lies, there wouldn't be a need for cross-examination. Actually, if Barbara Hogan says to us, Sholozi said, I want Gama, and it's my only choice. Zuma then says, no, it's too much detail to remember, you know. It was only one person. It's not like there was a list. Barbara Hogan, and I have no reason not to believe her on this one. I have every reason not to believe Zuma. Aye, but hey, it's getting hot under the collar, man. And Sikakane had to jump in to say, hey, my client is going to sink here. Because, you know, regardless of your own views on Zuma and so on, there must be something to be said about the fact that he doesn't remember anything. How policy, How policy, and it's giving leaders and politicians a bad name because politicians may be seen as people who don't want to remember anything. Baba kwala di speech, Baba labari, we will build 1,000 houses in Alexander. The following day, I don't remember. I may have said it. I can't possibly have promised 1,000 houses, but because Zuma, of course, promised 5 million jobs. I don't know what Andile Mtitama is talking about this radical economic transformation, this terrible lies that Zuma was at the helm of radical economic. There was nothing radical that happened in the last 10 years. 55% of this country's people are living under the breadline. 29% of people in this country are unemployed. 55% of young people are not having jobs. What's radical about that? What's radical about it? I don't understand what these people are talking about. No, he was a father of radical economic transformation. That's why they are wanting to press. There's nothing like that, man. Let's be clear. I'm sure there's something good that Zuma must have done and so on. And because a lot of people say, yeah, you see, he brought in, I heard there was a chap, I think it was a Mahuma Pil. Pathetic. Making a list of what Zuma did. Tatemulo Haiti, north from south. But when in public, they lie to us. But he came up with a national development plan. He didn't even read the damn plan, because if he did, he would not have said what he said today. That plan says, its diagnostic report said that part of the trouble with our government is this cadre deployment. That when a minister or an MEC is fired, they come in and they fire the DG fires the DDGs fire the chief directors. It's a mess. It's written in the NDP. Why? However, opposite of what is in there. But there's something that it's bad, man, to be asked to ignore the truth. The truth is Zuma destroyed this place. We're a skunk of the world, but more on the continent, more travel, for those who don't travel, won't know what I'm talking about. Whole land, what are you guys doing? That was the theme of the last 10 years. During Mandela, they were happy for us. They were jubilant when you land in these countries. But hey, you guys are great. Aye, man, in the last 10 years, but what are you guys doing? But now we must ignore that now. And excuse Zuma. He mustn't answer difficult questions. He mustn't be cross-examined. He must be allowed not to remember anything. How is it? Anyway, it triggered the issue of the ideal civil servant. I was very, very impressed by the new Minister of the Public Service and Administration, Minister Senzo Mkunu, on Monday when he was addressing the Public Service Commission strategic meeting. And he identified a couple of priorities, and amongst them, two struck me. One is something called Batupil. I don't know when last did you hear government say Batupil? People first. So I hope that Senzo Mkunu is going to make it count. People first. That's what civil servants must focus on. If they focused on that, we'll have less commissions probing wrongdoing, corruption, and all of sorts of things. The second thing is, he says, let's fight corruption. And it's interesting, he told the story of two of his nieces who came to him when he was at Lutulia House, after he was fired in the KZN there. And then he was now being sort of at the halfway house. And his two nieces of his came to see him and said, hey, we want something, we want employment, please help us, and so on. So he asked them, what are you doing now? He says, hey, we're hustling here, it's tender, small tenders, and so on. You know, in municipalities, they tender for everything. And I can say, if you want this cup, we want somebody who can go and buy us 3 cups, small tenders of 5,000, 10,000. And his nieces said to him, hey, Mara, hey, the civil servant, they want Jojo, man. Hey, they want Jojo. Even if it's a 5,000 tender, they want something. You must pay somebody. And he tells the story that he's surprised that this happened. So I don't know why he was surprised. Because KwaZulu-Natal is one of the worst corrupt places you can find. Hey, you corrupt people like you, man. These guys can go into the street and march Barimo to all who's accused of corruption, like that mayor of Durban, must be brought back to work regardless. Zandilogu mad. Mobilizes people to march instead of going to court to answer. People are marching, hey, mutu hele. So now, Senzo's nieces tell him, hey, kunzim. Bari tendare o rega di kopi se tharu man. Bawata jojo mote. Bawata 5,000, but no, rina tele something. 10%. They are 5,000. Imagine. People are not employed. They get a little tender. The civil servant want to be paid something. But it's our turn to eat, man. Those are the problems that he has got to deal with. I'm glad that he identified it as part of a culture. And he has to be told by his nieces. His nieces tell him, or listen, it's a culture. It's a way of doing business. It doesn't work like that. Hey, we need to change this culture. And that's what we'll be talking to Mkululeko Tlengwa about at the bottom of this hour. Right? To just say, how are you going to get a handle on what has become a culture? Otherwise, it's an exception. There's theft, otherwise, there is an exception. So exception has become the fact that there's no thieving. Thieving is a norm, and not thieving is an exception. It's terrible. And I said, like, this is out there. When the Auditor General says only 18 out of 257 municipalities got their books right, you got to worry. It can't be something that you just dismiss as unimportant or you don't remember. Because some of these politicians, some of the municipal managers, they will come and say, hey, Lord, now we don't remember. I mean, Zuma remember, Lord, now we don't remember. We don't remember how this so much, how 50 billion rand became wasteful expenditure. We don't remember Hariti. We can't possibly have wasted so much money. That's the trouble we're in South Africa. But I'm impressed by Senzo Mkunu because he was beginning to underline what is the typical civil servant that we need. We don't need a civil servant like a Kulwan. We don't need a civil servant like that who will name drop, who will, basically believe that he can do wrong things and be promoted afterwards. We want a Themba Maseko who would be able, in the face of authority being abused, say no. No, not tell us later, after 10 years, when there's a commission. And on the spot, when he's told a wrong instruction, we want a civil servant that can say no to executive authorities that abuse their power. We want a civil servant that can say no to that. We're going to take a break. After the break, we carry on with that conversation with the head of SCOPA, who is going to be taking out the whip for those municipalities who waste the people's money. Let's take a break.